Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Jamin's Daily Outdoor Edition. And you know, just thought I wanted to get outdoors and see what the audio sounds like. I left all my equipment at the office, and I thought about doing a podcast there, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I decided to come home and do something more spontaneous outside. So you know, it's early July and half of the year has gone by. Uh, Today is just dealing, and really yesterday as well, just dealing with things at work where if things would work right, if things only work the way they're supposed to, if things just happen the way it's supposed to happen, I feel like I would be much more productive. But I feel like just recently there's been a couple of situations on my checklist that I just can't get off. And in so many ways, it's out of my control. How many of you at home can relate? I'm sure there's quite a bit. But you just gotta muscle through. In one of those situations, I got an email and it was them being like, oh, really kind of just apologizing, saying they were in the wrong, and specifically thanking me for my patience. And, there's times when you have to be patient, and there's times when you don't have any other option other than be patient. And this is this one fell in that category where I didn't have really many other options. But my patience paid off, and I think it's going to work out in the long run. So we also did today, second time I've, on content creator doing something. We had the Wondersome Wednesday with the lovely Madison, our marketing director there, Wondersome Insurance. And tomorrow's our Thirsty Thursday. I went to the liquor store, the Yorktown liquor store, picked up some wine, some really nice, cool stuff that they just got in. They told me, and it's on display. Madison's going to make this really lovely gift basket for the winner. So I hope they come and pick it up. We already announced the winner. They already won. They're just going to come tomorrow to the office, pick it up. We're going to take a really cool photo, and it's going to make for great Facebook material, folks. So I'm looking forward to that. My son, James, has his first soccer match on Saturday. And I just hope he's aggressive and gets after it. I'm going to tell him, listen, just chase the ball, try to be the first one to hit it and kick it. And don't worry about anybody else. Don't pass it. Just kick it the whole time. At that age, they don't even know how to pass. So just go ham on the ball, try to get it into that net over there. And if anybody gets in your way, you move them out of your way. So those are going to be some of the pep talk I'm going to give him. He already told me, the kids are already indoctrinated and already told they watch all this YouTube stuff already. And so they're already being told that, it's as long as you have fun, you don't have to win. He went out of his way the other day. It may have been yesterday, if not yesterday, the day before, trying to tell me that as long as he has fun, that's what it's, winning isn't everything. That's what he was trying to say, and he couldn't phrase it well. He was like, winning isn't, what was he kept getting strung up on? Like, winning isn't everything. Winning isn't everything was what he was trying to say, but he wasn't saying it the right way. But I had to look him in his 5-year-old face and eyes and tell him, no, son, you're wrong. Winning is everything. And if you don't win this Saturday, you can't come home. No. I'm going to get rid of the Xbox, no video games, so you better win. Nah, I'm just glad I didn't tell him that. But I was like, listen, buddy, you need to try to win because you're good. And yes, I get you're trying to tell me winning isn't everything, I guess, sometimes. But a lot of the times it is most of the things. So you need to try to win if you're keeping score. And competition is good. So I'm trying to, but I thought it was so funny. He was already telling me winning isn't everything, Dad. Like, okay, that's good. I don't want him to grow up to be some like cutthroat jerk either. So I was like, okay, I can feel you. I feel it. We'll see how it goes. Hell, I bet you he's the type, if he finds out he's real good at soccer and he's just dominating, I don't think he's gonna all of a sudden remember like winning isn't everything. He's gonna be really happy that he's winning. But we'll find out. We'll have to give you an update on James's first soccer game this Saturday. I'll have some footage on that for sure for the podcast. Maybe even post game and pre-game interviews and some live action shots from the game itself. Until then, let's get into this. I'm sitting on a deck, and this deck needs a lot of work. It's real old, and I got some photos. I got a photo that I can show you. But back there is where I'm starting to replace the deck. What I'm doing is to save money because lumber is real expensive. I looked into this online where you can kind of help your deck out, refurbish it a little bit by just flipping the panels from one side to the next, and it looks really good on the other side. I'm putting some Thompson's deck sealant stuff on it as I'm doing it. And so I just did that corner side as like a proof of concept to see if it's going to work. And I think it is. And it's a work in progress. But I think I'm going to save myself like $2,000, maybe more, in labor once I get it done. So I want to try to give y'all some updates and some photographic evidence as it's going along. And then maybe do one long montage of it getting done as I've been taking the photos. That would be cool. The other idea, guys, that I have, look over there. Let me see that chair is in the way, but right back there is this really cool barbecue pit. That barbecue pit is 35 years old. I'm thinking about 35. That's what I use now. It's my baby. Like, I'm just glad it's outside. It's like, if the house were to catch on fire, I'm just glad I wouldn't have to like save it from the fire. It's cool there, so it's almost indestructible. I just hope a meteor doesn't come and crash down on it or something like that. But other than that, because I barbecue so much on it, I'm thinking some of the next video, what is it? Like video with the ancient aliens, like, the whole new little theme of stuff that I'm going to do. Video, not segments, video, themes of videos. I don't know, guys. Maybe think of a better, the word escapes me now. But I want to do videos of me barbecuing. Not how-to stuff, but I'm going to wear like a GoPro on my chest and a GoPro on my head and set up 2 cameras. And some of the B-rolls, it's going to be of me actually doing it in operation. All right? Then I might do some sit down, some other stuff. I think I might create a whole video ebook on how to be a pit master and then try to sell it. If you think that's a good idea, let me know. Send me an email at Jamin's Daily or like and share this video on YouTube or Facebook. Greatly appreciate it. So stay tuned for that. I think that's going to be video series is what they call a series of videos of me barbecuing. And I don't know, maybe that won't get a great reaction. I'll do some videos like how to season pork ribs, how to season beef ribs, those titles and headlines alone will get random searches and will increase the viewership of the video itself. So I'm thinking that's my next video series that's gonna come down the pipe. Till then, guys, on that last vid, I ended the episode, but I like the way it came out so well that I was like, I'm gonna add to it. I was listening to Joe Rogan a couple of weeks ago. You may have heard it made the news that a Google engineer was talking about how um, he felt perhaps this program he was working on was becoming sentient. This AI was having real emotions and feelings. So Joe Rogan had this guy, an expert, on his show today talking about how these text bot AI programs will never be sentient, that they'll be so good and so smart that they could convince somebody that perhaps this is another person on the other end. So they'll get so good that on a chat, if you go, you're looking for help and you chat, and the bot will be so good that you're gonna think it's a person, but it's not. Okay, and so just because you think it's a person doesn't make it a person. And what this other guy was saying, that the expert on Joe Rogan, what he was saying that was real interesting was the fact that what this Google engineer was doing was posing these questions to the AI, and it was explaining how, um, it was giving these raw emotions, making you feel like, oh, is this does this AI have feelings? And what this expert was saying is that any computer program, the way they're doing it, will be so good that it could convince you either way. So just as well as it can convince you that it's has feelings and is a person, it could just as easily uh, provide the rebuttal and say how it's not alive and that it's just a program. It has the ability to do both. It's all dependent upon the questioning and what you ask of it. Now, I guess I would imagine if these AI text programs are just sending out message unsolicited, then that might be another whole other story. But I just felt or thought, the expert was saying the way this works is that Google's the leader on this, and it makes sense because they're already scouring the internet of everything that's pretty much been said and written, all the textual structure within questions and answers and language arts is on the internet and is being gathered in this data and put into this program. And these text AI chatbots are able to use all the data of the world, all the textual and imagery data and everything that's being put into it to create responses to the questions you give it. But it's only able to do that because we are giving it the information. If you take that away, so this is where this expert is saying that they're not real, they haven't come to life. They'll make you, there a couple of times, they may make you believe they're alive, but they're not. And so I guess that's a interesting concept that I hadn't thought of yet, about how the AI will make you think they're real when the only reason they have this information is because we've given it to them, given it to the machine or the program itself to come formulate these own conclusions and they're coming up with these responses not based on anything other than the data given. There's no emotion or regret or any of these other thoughts that we would traditionally apply to humanity or even just animals alive that can feel things. So you should check it out and look into it some more. And I was there was a time when I was working on a novel in my spare time, and it had a lot to do with what we're going, this brave new world. Maybe it had a lot. I've never seen Westworld, but maybe that has something to do with, my whole thought was that with Facebook and social media and the way consciousness and download, technology, the meta world, the metaverse, and all this is that people will never die. Their digital presence will live on in different ways. And as technology gets better and better, those ways will get better and better as well. And what does that mean for um, just what is a robot? We see all these sci-fi things that lead us thinking that things are going to be a certain way, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being something that we had not even imagined, folks. Ooh. So we'll leave it there. Until next time. Stick with me, Jamin, your host, Jamin's Daily. Stick with me because the best is yet to come.